As we celebrate Memorial Day this weekend, I'm not only reminded of the men and women who sacrificed their lives for our country, but I'm also reminded of my childhood and growing up as we gathered with friends and family to celebrate this weekend, and we always had hot dogs. I'm going to be sharing with y'all today my favorite hot dog recipe for chili and my favorite way to prepare my hot dogs. Let's get started, y'all. First thing you want to do is start to prepare your chili because it does take a couple hours to prepare. I've got my pot set on a medium-low heat and I'm going to add in some oil. Now that our oil is heated up, we're going to add half of a white onion. We're going to add one red pepper. I only had a green pepper on hand and that I needed to use, so I'm going to go ahead and just use this. But the recipe does call for a red bell pepper, not a green bell pepper, just FYI. We're going to let that cook until it softens. While we're letting this soften, comment below if you have any family members that are in the military or previously in the military. For those of you that don't know, I was adopted, and the dad that raised me, he was in the military and actually retired from the military. He actually served in the Vietnam War, believe it or not. And then we do have two boys that are in the military as well. We're real proud of them. Now that our vegetables are softened, we're going to add in 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to let that saute here for a bit until it becomes fragrant, about 30 seconds to a minute. Now we're going to add in 1 pound of ground beef. And we want to break up that ground beef. I know I've mentioned this before, but this little chopper is awesome. If you guys ever run across anything like this at Marshall's or wherever, definitely pick yourself up one. All right. Just want to get that all broken up and get it browned. This recipe is so simple and it's so delicious. Really, you just kind of put everything in here and just let it simmer for a couple hours. And it will be the best chili, I promise you, that you've ever had. All right, so we have that pretty ground up. We're just gonna let this hang out for a bit until the meat is thoroughly cooked. The beef is done, so now we're going to go in and add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. We're going to work that in. We've let our tomato paste cook for about a minute, and now we're going to go in with our spices. I have several different ones here: paprika, garlic, cumin, pepper, mustard. The full recipe will be in the description box. Let's just pour that in, toss those to combine. We're now going to add 1½ cups of water, 1 14½ ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and lastly, we're going to add either 2 bouillon cubes, beef bouillon cubes, or I have this better than bouillon, and you use 1 teaspoon for each bouillon cube that is needed. So I'm going to go in with 2 teaspoons. All right, we're going to give that a good stir. We want to bring this up to a simmer, and then we will leave this simmer for about 2 to 3 hours, and that's it, guys. I promise you, this is a delicious chili, and you see how simple it was to make. Okay, that looks good. It's just bubbling slightly, so I've turned the heat down to low, and I'm going to partially place this lid on here, and I'll come and check it periodically to make sure that it's not getting too high. You just want light bubbles in there, and you leave it for about 3 hours. So I'll check back with y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, we're back. It's been about 3 hours, so let's take a look. Ooh, that looks perfect. So that chili is done, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is preset our oven to 350 degrees. We're gonna remove our chili from the burner, put the lid on it and set it to the side. We're gonna grab a skillet, and to that skillet we're gonna add our hot dogs. Placing this on medium heat, we're just gonna brown these on each side and then we're gonna stick them in the oven. I've got some Colby Jack cheese here that I'm gonna shred really quickly while we're waiting on our hot dogs to brown. And this shredder I picked up at Amazon if anybody's wondering. I love this thing. I do just a little bit more. Probably won't need all of it, but I'll just save it for another recipe. So now we are going to assemble our hot dogs and stick them in the oven for about 7 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and place my onion. So I've already cut up some onion here. I'm going to place some onion in each one of these buns. Right, and my husband would like some jalapenos, so I'm going to put a couple jalapenos in there. Then I'm going to put some mustard on each one. And then for the star of the show, we're going to add the chili. And it's probably going to get really messy here, which is fine. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna add some cheese. Can't have a hot dog without cheese on top. My dog knows the word cheese. All I have to do is say it and he comes running. All right, and these are ready to go in the oven. They only need to go in for about 7 minutes or until the cheese is melted. All right, y'all, you know what it is, my favorite part of the day, the taste test. Hands down, the best hot dogs. This is my absolute favorite way to make them. Hope you guys will try this out and make them this way as well. If you do, comment below. Happy Memorial Day to all of you guys, and thank you to all the soldiers out there. So grateful for each and every one of you. Hope y'all have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys. Bye.